Hey, Cal Forever here. Spiritual Journal Flow. It seems like a lot of times when I do these videos, I'm like kind of venting, and I feel like in the rawness of my conflict and resolution and healing and clearing of life, like it helps serve people. It helps people learn, and I learn lessons through it. So, like, I met this guy with my roommate yesterday, and I did a blessing for him because he seemed like agitated and he was like kind of aggressive, and he was like talking shit about the Sedona uh, crystal stores and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Some of that they like kind of the New Age like kind of convolutes some of these sacred spiritual things. And I gave him a blessing and invited him over to get something to eat because he said he was hungry. And like I felt like kind of uneasy about it, but my roommate seemed pretty cool and like, right, two guys, da da da. It's not that bad of a situation. And he ends up staying the night, and I end up getting in like an argument with him the next day, like just because he's just bullying me, just being a dick. In this spiritual ego and being spiritually superior and self-righteous, like any opinion or belief or experience that I stated that I had that was spiritual or mundane or third dimensional, whatever you want to call it, was just like would just trigger him, and he would attack you and lash out because he's in shadow, because he needed to integrate his ego. He's just in monkey mind and aggression and too much testosterone. But anyways, so I was hanging out with this friend, and she's cool because she has autism like me, and so she's like a tom girl, where or a tomboy, whatever you call it, and has autism and stuff. So she's like kind of like the autism, like for women, it's easier for them to interact with men, which is interesting because men are easier to deal with, and it relates to the socializing and stuff with autism. But anyways, we were walking down the street, or God, sorry, I get scattered. I was in the kitchen, I was giving him some of my smoothie, and he like said this thing about the Starbucks symbol on the cup, and he's like, oh, I don't want that, that's an evil goddess or whatever. And I'm like, no bro, like this is like, I don't even see Starbucks. Like I project this loving goddess energy here, and it's like Christmassy, and like I receive divine love, and I set an intention with this cup, and I've actually put that good energy or Reiki into the cup. So like, and the green smoothie. So like, be grateful that I'm fucking pouring you a green smoothie in a cup. And he's like, oh no, fuck that, and like gives me a huge preach about the like. He couldn't even give me the preach, actually, because he needed to look it up on the internet to inform me about how evil Starbucks symbols are. And I'm like, dude, I allowed the symbols I determine what the symbols mean for me. And it's like, that's empowering, bro. That's empowering. Like, the way you're going about it is giving your power away. Like, you took 10 minutes looking for a cup now because you were disempowered by the symbol, by shapes of paint on a plastic cup. Really? Close your eyes. Don't even look at it. Just drink the smoothie, bro. Anyways, so it's like the ridiculousness of it. So this person's like aggressive and bullying me with this spiritual ego. And I'm just being like loving and kind. I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, I saw you yesterday. You were agitated, and because he was trying to tell me I was in like spiritual ego. The fuck went down? But anyways, I'm like, dude, I saw you yesterday aggressive, or you were agitated, and I'm like, from the kindness of my heart, I decided to give you a blessing and to help open your heart, because that's what I do. You know, I help open people's hearts. I give them blessings with my voice and my energy and just my intention of love. And so I'm like, get out of my kitchen. Don't sit here and argue with me and be in spiritual ego. You know, leave. And he doesn't leave. I figured he was going to leave. He was just taking his time. Then he's just sitting on the back porch playing my singing bowls. Takes my frickin' phone out there, and my phone overheats. And it's like this guy is just like dominating me. And I'm like in a position where it's like, okay, I can't sit here and just really trigger this person and get in a physical fight with him, because that's not a good thing. So I'm just going to be kind. I'm going to be assertive. And I'm going to go about this the most graceful way possible. And we all, me and this autistic girl, all left together. And she finally said something. Because he was trying to use my phone. I'm like, no, bro, you can't use my phone now. Like, yeah, sure, I was going to text this person for you. But, you're stressing me out. I'm at sensory overload. And, this is weird sharing this story. I hope this helps a lot of people. Maybe I need to be clearer when I explain it, if I explain it in the future, to help people out. But anyways, he's being a bully and a dick, and this badass girl that has autism like me stood up for me. And like, she actually got in front of me, and he like started coming at us like aggressive, like just like words to, like, she opened up something personal about her life, and he used that against her in that situation. How fucking loving is that? How polite is that? You're a spiritual warrior. You're a spiritual dickhead is who you are, bro. Right? There are some spiritual dickheads out there. If you're doing a spiritual practice and it's not making you more loving and more kind, and I'm not talking about your shit coming up and you being, frustrated and getting triggered and stuff like that. That's one thing. Sure, this guy's in shadow and probably getting triggered and this and that, but he's just being a straight up dick to dominate and control and be better than someone. So anyways, it gets worse. So we ended up going to the sweat lodge, which was awesome, and thank God that happened, because he ended up not coming. And it's cool. I met this person yesterday, and then I met these few other people here at Whole Foods and became friends and went to a sweat lodge and had this really deep experience and opened up emotionally. Like, I'm a very open person, and I love being open and just meeting new people and connecting with them and not having the fear. But I totally discerned this person. From the get-go, he was aggressive, and I didn't want him coming over. It's just like my roommate seemed okay with it, and so I was like, my roommate, yeah. Like, you got to be careful who you invite over. You got to discern, and there's red flags. Like, and that was a clear one. So it gets worse. We come back. I let my friend sleep on the couch again. Which, yeah, that's great. You can give to some people that give in return and that are nice and kind people, and thank you for giving them a place to sleep, for a night. So this morning I wake up and I talk with my roommate, Lauren. I guess I'm not sharing last names, I guess. Trying not to share names, but my roommate talks with me just like, you want to go to Whole Foods? This is like drama. This is drama. What the fuck? I am not familiar with this. This is crazy. This is drama. But disregard that there's some lessons in this. So I explained to her the situation with this guy and how he's aggressive and to avoid him and that he's not allowed over here. And then she goes in her room and she's like, oh, I'll meet you at Whole Foods. It's like, what? Now you don't want to go with me to Whole Foods? And I see her walking down the driveway with this guy. And it's like, did she let him sleep in that room again? Or did he sleep with her? And that like kind of pisses me off, because I don't like that imbalanced patriarchy masculine just like being a dick and aggressive and a bully, and then sleeping and being a bully to women and other men. Like, that's my roommate. I'm here to protect that person. And so one thing I wanted to say, it's like, like, you're worthy. Your vagina's like your vulnerable place. You need to set your caliber of self-worth up there and not settle to just have sex with some, I don't know if that happened, but for any women out there, like, don't just sleep with some random guy, you know? Be with someone who you can connect with intimately, someone who's kind and loving and strong and interdependent and honest, you know? And compassionate. I'm not saying like the most perfect man, but like really settling your self-worth and your integrity that low is not very kind or loving to yourself. You deserve the utmost love from men. I'm saying this for women and men too. You know, I've had friends that got bullied by their girlfriends, like physically abusing them. So, like, we're worthy of the utmost love. And people that are aggressive and bullies and dicks, you know, they need to be off alone, not lashing out. They need to be off in their cave by themselves, processing their own shit and healing themselves so that they can give good energy to people, not bullying energy. We're here to anchor in the light. We're here to bring love, not I'm better than you. I've experienced more spiritual things, the spiritual badass-dom. I like kind of the spiritual badass thing, right? Like, I'm the sensitive person that, like, God. And I hated this guy. Like, another experience, we're at this restaurant, and he didn't like the vibes in the restaurant, so he didn't order food. Actually, he didn't have any money for food or something. I don't know. And he's like, he didn't like the vibes. And he's just being a dick. Like, let's leave this restaurant. Now I have to go take him to another restaurant. And I'm like, dude, I'll take you to Whole Foods. I'm not going to take you to another restaurant and sit down and watch you eat. We were just at a restaurant, and I made you sit down and watch me eat because you didn't order food. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So he's saying, like, oh, I'm sensitive and empathic. And I'm like, bro, I'm empathic. As someone as energetically sensitive as myself, I get it, right? I think you're exaggerating it and making it up, and I think you're kind of delusional and psychotic. And I get that because I've been called delusional and psychotic, and really my experience is I'm just getting all these downloads and overwhelmed. I'm not like that. I was getting frustrated and aggressive. I was getting aggressive out of my frustration because I was in so much pain. But that was different than someone thinking they're better than another person and trying to dominate and control. My situation was, what about me? What about me? You know, I matter. I'm in pain. You guys aren't listening to me. I need love. You're trying to control me to do this, that. You know, I'm talking about kind of my situation. But so, the spiritual journal flow, I feel like I kind of vented this. I'm going to go in here and get something to eat. I hope I don't run into this guy again. And that's probably good why I make this video. Dante. That just sounds like an intense name. He's just like so intense all the time. And I have like an intense energy sometimes. But it's also gentle. It's not aggressive and hurt. Like, it hurts. Someone that's energetically sensitive and they're around someone like that, it just hurts. It hurts. You know? Anyways, Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. I'm all sweaty now. That sweat lodge was awesome. Like, that was the coolest experience I ever had. They're going to do one once a month. I think I'm going to go back. I might ask them if I could maybe video some of it. I don't know if they'd let me. But it was cool. And, man, it was hot. The last wave of heat and steam we did was so freaking hot. Like, and I laid down, and I survived it by laying down. But, like, it was burning my nostrils. It was so hot, but it's so good for you. I felt so much clearer, so much more in my body. When I first moved here to Arizona, I would have the windows up in my car like this and just sauna it. You know, it was in the winters. It wasn't in the summer because, you know, you got to be careful with that. And it's just like a sauna, and I sweat, and I started becoming more in my body, and I would exercise, and I would fast, and I drink a lot of water, and I just felt so much in my body. And ever since I went back to visit family last year, man, I got taken out of my body. And, you know, my parents forced me on psych meds for a short period of time, and I don't think that was good for me at all. Psych meds are not good for you. Even for the short term, I don't know if they're super necessary. Maybe some people do need to be on them. I have autism, so I have like counteractions with a lot of meds. Maybe this dude needs to be on a fucking medicine. Like, for real. I feel like this is not how I would word things in a sentence. For real. Yeah, for real. This dude does need medication. Right? I looked like I probably needed medication. So I'm like seeing my mirror. But then again, it's not necessarily my mirror. Cal Forever here. Just because someone does something shitty to you doesn't mean that it's your karma, at least in the way that you think. It doesn't mean that they're reflecting something shitty within you that's unresolved. Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. Peace.